Baby, you understand me now. If sometimes you see that I'm mad, don't you know no one alive can always be an angel? When everything goes wrong, you see some bad. But I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood.
Hi everybody. Have you forgotten my name?
Kirk was one of the most unforgettable people you would ever meet. He stood out the moment he walked in the door. He was edgy, he was funny, he was dynamic, and he was
just such an authentic, honest, and passionate person.
He was passionate.
Passionate.
Oh, he was so full of passion.
Passionate. Sure, you'll probably get that a lot.
Kirk was so passionate because he loved what we did. He loved teaching, he loved performing, and he loved putting a smile on people's faces.
Is this gonna go on Facebook or somewhere? Okay, you guys better. Okay, anyway, here we go. Let's try it over here. Ready? He's like, get it. Here we go.
He was such a funny man.
Such a larger-than-life personality who brought a certain electric energy into the room and inspired so many people, young folks and adults alike.
Every empty seat that you see in here could be filled with people your age who didn't make it here today. Do you know that? Want to know why I'm so loud? Because when I speak, I have the voices of 5 of my dead friends. No, I'm sorry, 6 now, behind me, who speak with me. Because I stand here today, was given an opportunity to go to school and make something of myself. And like him, I did too. My GPA was a little bit higher, it was a 3.99.
Kirk was funny.
I'll give you an example because I am an expert failure person, a person who fails a lot, for example, in that sentence.
Oh my gosh, Kurt was such a character. He would say the funniest things, or he would do the most outrageous things.
What the hell are you doing? That is how you applaud poet? I'm not talking to you anymore.
I mean, really funny. And actually, inappropriately funny sometimes.
Get ready to have your socks blown the right off. Is that good?
Yeah, why don't you just look around for a little bit?
Okay. Thought-provoking?
No, like you're kind of just waiting for the interview to get started.
Okay. I think I have glaucoma. Hopefully some of the comedic stuff could be used, if you want to make for like a trailer that's funny. Like, I'm angry with you now. F this interview.
But I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood.
Kirk brought an energy and a passion to absolutely everything he did. And those two were always together. His energy and his passion were always evident and felt by the people around him.
Please give a warm Bronco welcome to Kinetic Affect.
Okay, that sucked! Let's try it again, everybody! Give it up! Hey, how you doing? Bronco Fabulous!
Okay.
Chill out. Okay, so...
The things he would say, and how honest he was with you. If you didn't like the shirt you're wearing, he'd tell you. And I love that about him.
What you saw in Kirk was what you got, and that's what I loved about him. There were no games.
No false pretenses. Kirk was Kirk. And it's rare to find someone that is that genuine in everything they do.
Kirk said to me the very first time I met him that a broken vase was still a vase, and even more beautiful when put together. If that didn't reflect who Kirk was as a person, not only to think that deeply and have something like that to say to anyone on the first time that he met him, but to be able to speak words that, 7, 8 years later, I still remember word for word. That's just who Kirk was, and it was just constantly inspiring in seeing the greatness in all of us in a way that we usually don't see in ourselves.
There was never a time that I didn't see him make an impact. I was a teacher at one of the schools that he came to work with our boys. Mine were the abused and neglected teens, and he taught them. This is hard. Loved them, shared his art with them. The first time I saw him, he was performing, and I was, whoa! So much energy and passion and vulnerability and strength coming out of this one person. And then the way that he worked with our students, beyond just helping them find their voice, beyond just doing the things that good teachers do, loving them with real kindness and strength, holding them accountable. Kindness isn't niceness. Politeness isn't letting kids get away with not meeting your expectations and their expectations. He made them try harder and dig deeper. They cared about those poems more than they cared about any assignments I ever gave them. They gave their best for him because he gave his best every time.
Mr. Latimer was the best teacher I've ever had in my life. He taught his students to dream. No matter how impossible that dream may have been, he just taught you to work at it and you can do it.
He showed me that you can overcome your past, and your past doesn't define you. It might influence who you are now, but it doesn't define you.
Kirk was so generous, and he cared so much about other people. I think so many of us feel stuck because we want to figure out how we can help, and Kirk just never waited for that answer. He just did. And there's so many stories of how he impacted other people's lives.
One of them is when he drove to Indiana to pick up a former Lakeside youth who was currently homeless, as well as his brother, and he put out a calling for help for Kalamazoo and Battle Creek, and people showed up, and he made sure that they had a home, he made sure that they had what they needed to get a job, and he checked in with them even months afterward.
During the time when my mom was in the hospital, my brother came out a couple times, and he was late, and he kept texting, and he's like, I'll be there in a little bit, there's stuff going on, I'll tell you about it when I get there, blah, 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 blah. So he finally shows up at the hospital, we're all there, and he proceeded to explain to us that the reason he was late was because when they got gas at the gas station, he met a homeless man there, and he needed to help him. So he had to buy him some lunch and make sure he was situated, and that was Kirk. That's who he was.
I know how much good he did. I know what he stood for and how much he cared. He impacted so many lives. So many lives.
Kirk came into my life when I was 14 years old, locked up in a residential facility, burned every bridge that I had, and he believed in me. He gave me another chance. He gave me opportunity. He helped me turn my passion into a reason to live. And if it wasn't for Kirk Latimer, I wouldn't be here mothering my 3 beautiful girls, learning from my mistakes, or pushing on to see another day.
We don't want to feel pain anymore. We don't want to go through any of those things. We don't want it on our mind. We don't want to remember those horrible things that happened. Yet the irony is, You have to embrace those moments as a piece of who you are to really move healing forward, to be a full person. And the work that I do through Speak It Forward has given me the courage to go through my own experiences, to be who I truly am. And if I can do that, then I can stand as a model and representative for the students that we work with.
Kirk, you are a master at connecting with students and young people and engaging them and meeting them at their level and really showing that you understood and that you really wanted that connection with them and you wanted it to be real. And I remember watching you thinking, I gotta copy this guy, I gotta soak all this in so that I too can interact with my students in that way. And to this day, even in my role as assistant principal here at Vicksburg, I do all of those things that you did to the best of my ability because they have never stopped working. And because of your example, I feel that I've reached more students, connected greatly with more students, and had a greater positive impact on their lives than I would have had I not met you.
That was the genius of Kirk. Like, he just had little things that he did to create relationships that normally with our kids would take years, but he was able to do it in a matter of a few hours.
You were especially gifted at working with students to help them find their own personal voice. And to see that impact up close was inspiring.
You made a huge impact on my life, and to watch how much of an impact you made on others was truly astounding.
He had this depth to himself that once he really let you in, he shared himself, with you wholeheartedly.
We cried together, we laughed together, and we shared life and space. And we built power in the community and in our city, and we touched people's lives together.
He brought life into all of us.
Kirk looked at me after we talked about some heavy stuff, and he goes, "You know what? That thing that you said, I want to write a poem about that. I want to write a poem about that story." And he was like, I've held on to that forever because it was like this moment where he took something that felt like coal and made it shine like a diamond.
And he did it in a way that made me feel seen. He was saying, I see you. You're important to me. I appreciate you. And it was just such a wonderful thing to be recognized in that way.
It changed the way that people work. It changed the way that people live, not just in that moment, but going forward. Not just speaking it forward, living it forward.
Kirk was a little brother to two sisters, and he was a big brother to one. How Kirk affected my life is like asking, how does the sun affect the growth of flowers?
There seem to be no words that would describe him adequately enough. He was
vulnerable, open, intelligent, sometimes intimidating. It's so much more than one word.
Generous and intense.
Spontaneous force of nature.
He was absolutely fearless.
Committed and honest.
He was the goofiest person, and I absolutely adored that about him.
Electric. Unapologetically enthusiastic.
Powerful.
Very positive. He was a healer.
Unapologetically compassionate. That man's compassion and understanding knew no bounds.
Irreplaceable. Kirk was genuine in everything he did.
Authentic and raw and piercing.
When I'm struggling or I need a little bit of motivation, it's still his words and his face and that image telling me not to half-ass anything that keeps me going. His videos, his performances, his words that he wrote, his impact and influence on people all of that is still left behind, and those wheels that he put in motion, like a stone tossed in a pond, those ripples are going to continue on out long after this moment.
Thank you. Thank you for your impact. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your energy, and thank you for your passion, because what you left here on earth is never going to go away. It lives on in the hearts of so many, all the people that you touched and the people that you've impacted with your life and your talents and your passion. It lives on in all of us.
Even if I'm not there, it doesn't mean I'm not with you. I truly believe that. That's why for me, I believe in life after death, not so much because of some mystical thing, but because I believe that the energy of who we are becomes a part of the world and the people that we've connected with.
I look forward to seeing what you create in this new form, because I know you're not gone, and I know you're with me, and I know that fire and that drive and that passion is still every single molecule of who you are in whatever form that you are.
Kirk, thank you for being in my life. Thank you for still being present. I can feel you. You bring humor at the right moment and the insight. I will always hold you in my heart. Blessings, and thank you for always being who you honestly, genuinely were.
One of the last things that I would have said to him is, I love you, and it's going to be okay.
Things are going to be all right, because as Gabe has said numerous times, we have the biggest badass guardian angel that you could ever imagine looking out for us.
I know that there are so many other people here with me. And it's not just the people who are watching this video or the people who know my name. It could be people who are like praying and thinking about people like me who need support and help and love at certain times. Because I believe overall that even though sometimes we see that the world is full of a lot of nasty things, viruses, bugs, wars, and sometimes horrible people, I believe that most of us, most everyone, is really a beautiful soul, a good person that really wants what's best for themselves, the people they love, and, for you and the world.
Kirk, thanks for your leadership. Thanks for your inspiration. Love you, brother.
Thank you for teaching me that I can always reach out to more people. I can always do more for other people. And thank you for teaching me that who I was before isn't who I am now.
I miss you, buddy. This is hard, unexpected, and sad, but we're all going to try to make you proud as much as we can. I love you, Kirk. I miss you.
I miss you.
I will miss you still, but I will continue to ride and represent for you, as I know you would for me. I love you, bro. Always will. Peace.
His absence will not be easy, but his memory lives on.
He was an amazing man, and I will miss him dearly.
I love you, Kirk.
I love you, Mr. Latimer.
A piece of my heart will never be the same because of this loss.
You impacted so many people. We love you. We miss you.
And there's a huge hole in my heart because he's gone. Oh, I miss him. Terrible. I love you, Kirk Latimer.
I love you, Kirk.
We love you, Kirk, and I will always remember you, and I will always miss you.
And that is why I refuse to give up, because you, all of you, given me and instill a belief of hope. A hope that there is always something more beautiful and better tomorrow.